moving up the pay scale and the importance of 2x2 and level advancement. So I think I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Tony Petrell, as he is an expert in helping people get qualified. Mr. Petrell, over to you. Oh, we can't hear you, Tony.
Oh, sorry. I had it down that I was going to talk about activity goals. But is there something more specific that you wanted, Karen? You just mentioned a couple things that weren't exact words.
Well, first of all, I think we all know when you bring a new associate in, it's very important to work closely with them so that they can either get 5 memberships or 3 memberships and 1 associate. And by doing that, they get a bonus. And as long as they go to either the Fast Start class, a small business class, or an employee benefit training. And that's sort of that. And I think that's probably the basics. Tony, why don't you talk about what you're going to talk about?
Okay. I think the most important thing, so if you're going to have someone brand new, or if it's you, so let me just talk to you, because the odds are you need to get into Performance Club, or you need more people on your team in Performance Club, right? So you're either one of 2 people. You need to get in Performance Club, or you need more people on your team in Performance Club. So I'm already in Performance Club, but I need more people on my team in Performance Club. So you're one of the 2, and that's it. And I've always said there's only 2 positions in Legal Shield: 1, Performance Club, and 2, Executive Director. That's it. Then once those are taken care of, you shoot for Platinum. So now that Karen Irish-Borrego is in Performance Club, so is Paul Archuleta, and they're also executive directors, then their next goal is the same as mine, to hit Platinum, right? That's the toughest position to get to and to stay at. So Performance Club, executive director, and you get to executive director by having more people on Performance Club. So when someone first comes on board, I'm not going to worry about Performance Club. I'm only going to focus on your first 20 days and get you paid and promoted. So we want to do the 3 members and 1 becomes an associate. Now, don't forget, I had an associate. She came on board. She signed up 3 people for the membership. Then she said to her mom, "Hey, Mom, if you become an associate, I fast start qualifying." The mom says, "Okay, how much is it?" She goes, "There's a promotion right now, $49. The mom goes, "I'll do it. I'm not going to buy the legal plan. I'm not sure if I need it yet, but I'll do that for you." So the mom became an associate for $49. But guess what? That does not count because she did not have a membership. One of the 3 that bought their memberships should have been a $49 associate, right? So it's 3, and they say 3 and 1. It's 3 and 1 of those. not just 3 and 1. 3 and 1 of those 3, right? Becomes an associate. After those 20 days, you focus on the first 45 days, get them to manager. Now, I'm going to do it real simple. This is your activity goal. And then I'll go out to Mr. Archuleta for comments and the rest of the leaders. Excuse me.
Hello, Mr. Petrell. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The comment that I would have is the part where you were saying about leading by example, and that's absolutely correct. So once you're in Performance Club, if you're not there yet, I think that's that would be the ultimate start to show people, because it's really difficult to tell people how to get there if you've never been there. And then again, like Platinum, Platinum or executive director, that would be my next step, which would be to get to there. I've never been there, but I've been executive director, and so I think that's really, really important. It's kind of like telling somebody to to go ahead and PC qualify or to get a bonus or to move up to the next level, the best thing you can do is show them that you're there as well. And I think it all happens with proper activity and just tracking your numbers and moving forward. But good point there. That's the point that I'll draw from, is basically make sure that you are leading by example. And it's okay, because you can start at any time with Legal Shield. Anytime you want to get into Performance Club, you can do that. And it's just, as they mentioned, 150 points or premium dollars. And then they even give you some help when you're recruiting people by getting additional points. But that's what I would totally draw from, is make sure that you're doing that, you're leading by example, so you can build the team. But that would be my recommendation as well, is make sure that you're doing what you're asking your team to be doing. If you're asking your team to be on a call tonight, make sure that you're on the call tonight. But
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yep. And you know, one of the best compliments I ever got was when someone on my team said, "Well, we know that if you're telling us to do it, you're doing it too." You know what I mean? They're like, "We know that you're doing it too." And especially when I was building, right? When I was really building the business and in the trenches. Nowadays, you know, the good news is I'm fat and happy. The bad news is I'm fat and happy, right? So when people say, "I just want to do what you do," no, you don't. You want to do what I did. You want to do what Mr. Archuleta did. You want to do what Karen Archibald did for the first 20 years, for the first 30 years, for the first 10 years. You know, and then now I'm going to share with you some philosophies before I go over the activity goals and breaking that down. And a lot of associates will say, "I do Legal Shield full time," and they're recruiting, or I'll go to a Super Saturday. I've been to so many Super Saturdays. "Mr. Petrill, I'm not recruiting as many people as I want to, or it's just not hitting for me. I just don't get it. I do Legal Shield full time, and it's just not, you know." And I go, "Well, you don't do Legal Shield full time." And they go, "Yeah, I do." And I go, "I mean, no, you don't. No, nobody does, really. I mean, I did. I worked my 60, 70, 80 hours a week. I did. But you don't do it full time." And they go, "Yeah, I do." And I go, "All right, are you telling me that you work Legal Shield 50 hours a week?" And they go, "No." And I go, "Are you a ring earner?" "No." "And why the hell would you tell me you do it full time and you're only making 12 grand? I want to join your team." You know what I mean? So if you say you do it part time and you make 12 grand, I'm in. But if you tell me that's all you do and you work Legal Shield full time and you make 21 grand and I'm about to put my mortgage on the line, you know what I mean? Or I'm really going to step in, I need to know, you know what I mean? So, I mean, the Jim Rohn story is that he never wanted to leave his job. He always wanted to say, "I make 6 figures part time. I have a regular job." Like Chip Humphrey. He made over 100 grand as an assistant principal, but he made 100 grand for Legal Shield, spare time, right? So if you make 6,000 a year, 5,000 a year, 3,000 a year, 30,000 a year, part-time, spare time, now I'm listening. So just a side note. Now let's talk about activity, because, excuse me, I've talked a little bit about it last week or 2 weeks ago, when I talked about I showed you the slides and all that. And one of them was breaking down the activity, because a goal is written specific with a deadline. So you might want to write that down. And I challenge everyone on the line. How many people did you talk to last week? How many did you invite to look at Legal Shield last week? Write down the number. For most of you, it's 0 or 1 or 3. You know what I mean? I mean, no one went nuts and thought, "I want to make 50 grand this year and get my ring, so I'm going to invite 50 people a week." No one does that. You know what I mean? No one usually puts that number down. Alex Shahid did. That was really funny. I went to Alabama for a Super Saturday, and I stayed in Alex Shahid's little apartment, and they couldn't afford to put me up at a hotel. He and his wife putting the Super Saturday on. They couldn't afford me to take me out to lunch or take me to breakfast, so they made me breakfast. You know what I mean? And then we went to a football game and all this, and now he's a $200,000 ring earner. But when I was at that Super Saturday, I said, how many people invited someone here? And I said, how many people invited more than 10, more than 20? And he kept his hands up, more than 30, more than 40, more than 50 people. And he goes, I invited 56 people to come to this event. And I go, I wonder who's going to be our next ring earner. I'm just so confused, right? And now he's a $200,000 ring earner. So I understand that most of us don't invite 50 people like we think it's against the law or something. I'm not going to invite 50 people. That's weird. No, you'd actually get a ring. Okay, but maybe you wrote down, write 1 or 2 or 5 or whatever, and that told you to cross that number out and put down how many you're going to do this week. So I'm going to extrapolate on this, and I'll turn it back to you, Karen. If your goal is to sell a small business plan this week, that's not what you want written down. What you want written down is, I will call 20 small business owners where I get my oil change done, where I get my dry cleaning done, where I've gone for this, where I've gone for that, where I've gone for this, the restaurant I've gone to. I will talk to 20 people this week and ask them to take a look. Ask them if I can show it to them. So I may not get 20 presentations this week, but my goal is that I will ask 20 people to take a look. And it might be next week, but this week I'm going to ask 20 people. So yeah, it'd be great if I could sell a membership this week, but more importantly than me selling a small business or 5 legal plans or 5 combo plans or get a small get a group appointment, you know, whatever your goal is, recruit 1 person. More than that, you want to say, I want 10 people to watch the opportunity video. So I'm going to ask 20 to watch it. 10 might watch it. So you're going to write that down. I will ask 20 small business owners to take a look at Legal Shield this week. So how is that written, specific, and with a deadline? Well, it's written because I wrote it down. Specific because I said 20. It's got a deadline because I said this week. Now, some people will go, well, does that mean Saturday or Friday? All right, get more specific. By Friday at 5 p.m. By Saturday at noon. Just pick a deadline, and deadlines work. If you don't think deadlines work, ask my 8-year-old when I count down from 10. Deadlines work. It's really funny how everyone's like, oh, I think I'm going to get some Taco Bell. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go there. I'm really not going to go for a walk for, 20 years straight until the doctor says, hey, guess what? We found something. And you go, what? I'm going to go for a walk. And where's the salad? I didn't know there was a deadline on me. Oh, I'm going to start juicing my ass off. Let's go. Let's get a blender. Right? So deadlines work. You tell me that someone, when the doctor says, guess what? There's a deadline. Woo! I'm good. Things totally change. So, Karen, I'll turn it back to you. No matter what it is, to do the 3-in-1, to make an appointment, to get a recruit, break it down to the activity. How many people do you need to talk to get those 3 memberships in 20 days, right? How many you have to invite to take a look at? Have it written specific with a deadline. Turn it back to you, Karen.
That is excellent information. And keep in mind, if you're just doing this part-time, make it a goal to talk to 2 people a day. And if you're in the business solutions time at the solutions division, you got to talk to more, 5 to 10 to 20 a day. And always ask for referrals, because people who get referrals write 3 times more business. Okay. And Mr. Archuleta, do you have anything to add? We're going to go out.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to say I love those comments, and that's funny with the juicing part. Caught me off guard. But no, one thing that I will mention. Let me turn off my camera so it doesn't look like I'm driving illegally, which I am. One thing that I'll mention is that a lot of times people will say like you know, you got to have the burning desire, and you have to, and I'm not, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do it. But one of the things I'll mention with like Mr. Petrell, and I'm sure yourself and anyone else that has marketed quite a bit and recruited quite a bit, it's a lot of it is a habit that you are not really familiar. You're not familiar with the habit that you're doing, but the habit is really what we're developing. In other words, what Mr. Petrell does, and it's funny that he brought up the juicing part, but what he does is he does that activity like what he was mentioning, the 50 something odd contacts from Alex Shahid, but he's doing that activity without even thinking about it because it's his habit. It's a habit that he's developed. So what I tell everybody is once you develop that habit of making those contacts on a daily basis, then you do have to have a burning desire, but it doesn't have to be every day. Don't think about, that we have to, you got to get up and, start flipping and doing the legal shield and all this and that. What you have to do is develop that habit of constantly making those contacts, of constantly making those calls, of making it part of your everyday activity if you want that result. And so that's what I'll mention because I know like a lot of the leaders, they do that all the time. Like Mr. Butcher, he's been in Performance Club for forever. And it's because of the habits that he does, not so much. And it's just kind of like second nature to him. And if we all can develop those kind of habits, then and that could be positive or negative. I mean, you can develop a habit of waking up and smoking a pack of cigarettes. It's a habit. But once you decide to do it on a daily basis, you're going to have that result, and then after you do that, you have to arc it up to where you want to move forward to the next level, the next level, and the next level. That's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying platinum. If you arc it up, then you'll get there if you develop the right habits, and that's Performance Club qualifying, level up qualifying, having your team do all of that, and then it's going to be like easy almost. But anyway, thank you so much for that. But that just that made me laugh so much. Thank you, Mr. Patrol, for that juicing comment. Back to you.
Mr. Archuleta, here's the thing. You mentioned habits are key to success. And if you don't develop the habits, you won't have success. You'll just be all over the board. So what we're going to do is go out to Mr. Erland Lewis for some announcements. Erland? Are you on?
I am here, young lady. Yes.
There he is. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And some announcements for this month of September. For right now, I know we've been talking about it, and it's something that is really, really something you should do by tomorrow, and that's Performance Club Qualify. You have to turn in 150 extra, 150 new premium points for the month of September. And what that does for you is it qualifies you for a $150 bonus. And the reason why I say that is because we have a summit coming up on October 3rd in Dallas. And then, and if you qualify for the $150 bonus by just Performance Club for this month, turn in 150 points, premium dollars, I should say. And and I always remember this, the number 5, five new memberships of just a legal plan. Times that by $30 times 5, that's $150. If you recruit one person with $150 new premium, you get $200. If you recruit 2 people by tomorrow and already have $150 new premium, you get $300. I mean, our company's just paying us before we even Performance Club qualify for the month of September. So you got until tomorrow. So September 12th. You got to also register for our summit that's coming up, Dream Builder Summit, coming up on October 3rd in Dallas, Texas. And so that's going to be a great summit. It's going to be just one day, October 3rd. But they have so much great announcements coming up and so many new incentives and so forth. And but always remember, guys, get your Performance Club in by tomorrow, and that makes a big difference. And it's the lifeblood of your business. Other than that, I don't have any other announcements as of this right now, unless you have anything else. Back to you there, young lady.
Well, thank you so much, Erland. And remember, this is the last month for the 49. And if you have some contacts that are interested, it's time to follow up with them. Put them on a 3-way call with someone in the division that works for them. Shield Nation is a principle-centered organization where leaders aren't born, but they're from their habits, they're created. So with that, anything else? Anybody wants to contribute something else to the information we have? Gwyneth, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think I'm correct that you can't get the bonus unless you enroll for the Dallas convention, and you must do that by tomorrow. So just enroll, it's free. And you don't have to go in order to get the money, but you'll have that option if you earn the money for the bonus. It'll help pay for your
Cool.
regular. So,
Cool, I'm registered.
me too.
How
I'm almost there.
many people are registered? Put your hands up. Okay, get registered. This is the time to do it. Okay, with that, let's go out there and talk to more people. People need our service. Okay, with that, have a great evening, and thank you, Tony, and thank you, Paul, and thank you, Erland,
Have a
for
good
all
night.
your contribution.
Have a good night.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good job, Tony.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Lisa, beautiful smile,
Lisa.
as
All right.
always.
Hi, Bridget.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Hi,
everybody.
Tony.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Love all of you.
Have a good one.
And hope your mouth feels better.
Thank you, dear. It will.
That it will. It's coming. Okay. I like the background. I got a new one. Bye now, everybody. Rayette and